almost 11, and there's still no stream. Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's 1 minute past 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's 1 minute past 11, and there's still no stream.
I actually got the time wrong twice. Unbelievable. This is a disaster. But this is a good song, so I'm gonna let it play. At least that long. All right, guys. Sorry. This isn't a Baldo stream, but it's a great song, so I had to play it. I'm back from Tokyo. I had a great time, and something really funny happened. But we gotta lead with your mistakes, right? So first, I put the stream time in as midnight, which is not what I want to stream. Then I put it in as lunchtime, which is in an hour. So I couldn't fucking tell the time. So this is when the stream was meant to start. So I'm actually late, even though it seems like it's early. And this is a weird time, but that's because this is all a ruse. We're going to go through the H3 lawsuit stuff, and then we're going to play dinosaur games. Because I need 100 people to subscribe to that channel. So that's the entire reason of this stream. But no, this is actually very interesting, the H3 lawsuit stuff. And he's actually... At first, I thought it was like, this was Cope. Because he's like, haha, I set a trap for you people. I set a trap. I copyrighted my thing before I released it. And I was like, yeah, everyone says that. But he actually did. It's actually registered in the Library of Congress, which we'll see tonight. But before we go into this, because I got the stream time wrong, we'll give people a couple minutes to filter in. And I'll tell you a little bit about where I've been this week. I've been up in Tokyo, having a great time. And unironically, Max got into an altercation, which is very funny. And he said that I could show this, and he said that I can include it in the video. So basically what happens is, we're up in Tokyo filming a video. The video is going to be about, a cheap day in Tokyo versus an expensive day in Tokyo. And for the cheap day, what we decided to do was go play some arcade games, which is great fun, right? So we walk into this Gashapon capsule machine place, where you put it, it's just like you put in like $1 and you get like little things. And then we see this happening. This guy in a bucket hat is wrestling this guy, and they like kind of tripped over and they walked right past me just as we entered. And you can see Max there is like, wait, what's going on here? What's going on here? And at the time we didn't know what was going on, but Max found out very quickly, and then he decided to join in the fight. It really is Max's world, and we just live in it. It's very, very funny. So what's happening here is that the guy that's being grappled with, he was taking sneaky upskirt photos of chicks in the place. And the guy in the bucket hat, he was a citizen arresting him. So that was really funny. And then Max just decided to jump in. And Max actually went too far. He just look at him go. He's like, say Ray is the best girl one more time. I dare you. I double dare you. So he fully like chokeholds this guy. We got to get Preston to review this thing. You can see like the phones are like falling out. Everything's falling down. It's great. It's very, very funny. I was like, what's going on here? People are giving me criticism for not jumping in and helping Max, but he had the situation under control, okay? I could only have messed this up by being involved in this. But like, this guy was totally subdued. And then Max was going to break his ankle. And I had to tell him not to do it. I kind of cut that out of this video because it's a little bit silly. But Max was like stepping on his leg. And he was like, maybe I should just break his ankle. That'd be funny. That'd be a good part of the video, right? And we're like, so he's like standing on his foot here, but he didn't do it in the end. And then some other people tried to get involved, and Max called the cops. The cops showed up. Max talks to the cops, and the guy got arrested. And then Max was just having lots of fun. So Max was having a great time. On my dime, I would say I bought him dinner, very expensive dinner too. But I'm glad that he had fun. So that was pretty good. This guy's crying. He got arrested. Max apprehended him, and then he does his celebratory dance on the Shibuya Scramble. So and then so there you go. There you go. That was a fun little introduction to, I guess, what'll happen later in the thing. So anyway, it was fun. It was good fun. All right, so let's go into this lawsuit stuff. We don't need the Baldwin streaming tonight. Alrighty. So some backstory to this story is that there is H3H3, and he very famously was one of the first people to establish what fair use was on YouTube with his lawsuit against this guy that was doing these like weird fitness videos, I think. And H3 this is back when he actually made videos rather than just podcasts. He did a really good transformative, like they had goofs, they had gaffs, they had skits. It was the quintessential transformative video. And then he kind of stopped doing the videos. He just did the podcast, and people have been wondering about what he's been doing. Some people said it fall off. Some people like this. It's just a different type of his life, I suppose. He's got a family now, everything like that, and he enjoys the podcasting. But he gets into a lot of drama, specifically with Hassan, and over the politics in the Middle East. Of course, Israel versus Palestine. It's kind of like YouTube versus Twitch in a way, because it seems like everyone on Twitch is supporting Palestine. YouTube can go either way, but some of the bigger voices on the Israeli side are on YouTube for some reason. And Hassan is being incredibly cringe. He's making the impossible happen. Well, wait, I won't. Sorry, I'll try to keep this. I'll try to keep this a little bit above board. Anyway, there's all these. Hassan has these orbiters. You've got Denims, you've got Frogan, you've got KacyTron, you've got an entire a group of people in Twitch that kind of just follow Hassan around and do his bidding. And a lot of them are also what is called react streamers. Now, sometimes we do reacts as well on this channel, but there's a difference between making a transformative react and freebooting. Freebooting is when you just let someone's content play and steal their content while you just you go to the bathroom or you leave your chair to react to it. And this has been a big drama that happened a couple of years ago where they had a really good there's a really good covering of this on the EFAP podcast where they did Hassan Man of Steel, but it's spelled like S-T-E-A-L. Very funny, very clever. Also, I should acknowledge this. We got Jefferson C. Poe says, is citizens arrest more common in Japan? I don't think so. I don't know, because typically I don't see anything happen like this. This is probably the first time I've actually seen a fight like this break out in Tokyo. So it's kind of surprising, but it was fun to watch, definitely. There is a certain sense of justice that the Japanese people have. Unfortunately, a lot of people get away with stuff in Japan because people like Max don't exist. I mean, Max exists, but he's the only one. And this is this kind of goes back to a broader problem. Before I guess we're going to go back sort of to the Max beating up the Chikan guy. Chikan means like pervert or basically or molester. And this is these are people that take upskirt photos or they molest people on trains, and they get away with it typically because nobody says anything and no one causes a scene. So it's actually even happened to me. I've been molested on a train unironically. I was on a full train and I felt someone pinching my bum. Now, I don't really give a shit about it because it's like, well, it's whatever. But, my reaction to it is not the standard reaction to it. But this has been a very common problem in Japan for a long time, and kind of the reason why women have their own train cars in Japan for certain lines during peak rush hour things. But I think it's starting to change a lot. There's a lot of campaigns going, and basically we just need people to stand up and say stuff. I didn't enjoy it. No, it was probably like an old chick or something, or some weirdo guy. It was very, very peculiar. I didn't know. I was like, what the fuck? The thing is, if this happens to you, if you go to Japan, this happens to you, just make a loud noise, because these sort of people only get away with this because people don't make a loud noise or they don't arrest people. There's actually some very funny stories, though, of citizens arrests in Japan. Specifically, there was a guy that tried to molest some teenage high school girls, and they beat the shit out of him. Just these 3 high school girls, and there was this on the news and stuff, and they're like, you just see this guy, this really creepy guy running away, and he's got 3 high school girls like holding him back and punching him and stuff. It's really funny, and I wish we'd see more of that sort of stuff. Axie with the 5 says the reason you don't see more pro-Israeli creators on Twitch is because they get banned. It's wrong. Think on their platform. This may be true. There is some evidence to suggest that Twitch has actually been specifically targeting Israelis. You actually could not sign up for a Twitch account for an entire year on Twitch. Now, Twitch said that they blocked anyone from that region from starting accounts. But that sounds like they just kind of made that up, and it is very peculiar. It is very peculiar. But anyway, that's kind of the backstory of this. Although one other detail that is very funny is that DenimsTV in particular, and we covered this, She started a GoFundMe to sue Ethan Klein about 3-4 weeks ago. How's it going, Kurt? I saw you had another big stream today, like 4,000 people. Holy shit. Kurt Bros can't keep winning. My voice is a little bit sore, by the way. But she started a GoFundMe. She didn't get anywhere near what she needed. She got about 20%. And because she got 20%, she decided she didn't want to pay for it herself, and she canceled and refunded everybody, which was very embarrassing to see that she couldn't get that support that she needed. Maybe she was hoping that Hassan would come in and save her. But the fact that she started a GoFundMe about 3 weeks ago, failed to get anything, then refunded it, and now she's had to start another GoFundMe. So it's like, hey guys, I know I promised to sue Ethan Klein a week ago, and you didn't pony up, but now he's suing me, and I really need your help. She's currently raised about 10% or 8% of her goal. She wants $100,000. She's raised $8,000 so far. We're going to see what happens. The Ethan did this video, though, that's very funny. We're going to go through it. And like I said, after we finish this stream, we'll be streaming all day. Well, not all day, but it says live in 40 minutes, but this is a lie. Because I don't think we're going to get through this. We're going to be playing Crocodile and Triceratops today on the gaming channel. So there's a pinned comment. Go subscribe to that channel. I need about 150 subs to get monetized. All right, let's break into this content. Let's see what Ethan has to say.
Hi there. My name is Ethan Klein.
Let me know if
and
it sounds
my
okay.
favorite hobby is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on lawyers. Today, I invite you into my home to share.
First of all, I'd just like to point out, like, this is a very funny intro. And very true, because nobody can afford a lawsuit. Something that Nick Recader used to say, but then forgot when he hired the most expensive defamation, free speech lawyer, Mark Randazza, in the Montegraph case. So this is true and very funny and very good. But I will point out that he's burning a $1. He's burning a $1 note. Now I think it's illegal to burn US currency. Maybe this is fake money. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna sue him over this. But I think, like, if I was making this video, you may as well pony up and at least make it a 50. At least make it a 50. He's really like leaning into the memes, I guess, burning the $1 bill.
Share my favorite pastime with you. Join me in creating generational wealth for my attorney.
All right, that intro cost him $1. It is illegal. Yeah, I know, but nobody's actually going to get him for it. That's the point. It's like there's a lot of things that are in life that are illegal, but you're never going to get attacked for. Or sued.
Let me tell you guys a story. About a year and a half ago, it's a big conversation called ReactGate. ReactGate was a debate going on in the streaming community about what constituted fair use.
Now, this was actually a bigger deal than people let on. And the problem wasn't just reacting to videos. I think Ethan goes on to explain and add the context to this, but specifically what big React channels were doing, like Hassan or XQC, maybe Asmongold to a degree as well, but I think Asmongold actually added some commentary, is they were watching these videos, like these very big popular videos, like the JFK documentary by Let Me Know, and they would watch it in its entirety, basically add no context. I think their videos would be like 5 minutes longer than the actual videos itself. And that was just like them usually pausing, saying, yo, chat, this is crazy, which isn't actually transformative. If you're enjoying the content in the same way that it's supposed to be enjoyed, like if you're just watching and having fun, then you're not actually transforming content. You're just using the content. You're just stealing the content. But the thing that they would do is they would upload the exact same, they would upload the VOD of them reacting it, because they would do it on Twitch and they'd upload it to YouTube for their archive channels. They would upload it with the same thumbnail, in many cases the same title, and just completely steal all of the traffic for these videos. Now, a lot of people that do React content are smaller channels, so they don't really get very many views. That isn't actually important or a factor in this. I guess it could be a factor for calculating damages if you actually wanted to sue someone for copyright theft. But that's one of the defenses that you see from people like this. It's like, well, that video had 5 million views and my stream only got 10,000 views. It's like it's a drop in a bucket. It doesn't matter. It's still theft. But it was particularly egregious for a lot of small channels that put like these high effort videos, these high effort views. Work. Like I think in Let Me Know's case, some videos take like 5 months to a year to make. These are very big projects that take a lot of effort, and then sometimes it can feel very disheartening to know that you put so much work into something that gets like 20 views, and then some guy reacts to it and gets like 1 million views. Now, again, these people that are stealing the content, they like to say, well, I mean, I'm giving them exposure anyway. Like I'm helping create their channel. In some cases that can be true, but again, just because you get a benefit from something does not mean that it's not a wrong thing to do. For example, if I steal someone's bike and then I give them $1 million, they might be happy about getting the $1 million, but because they did not consent to give me the bike in the first place, it's still their choice. It's still they get to decide if they want the $1 million or not. You know, DSP's entire existence. I actually don't really watch DSP's content apart from like people like the casino going over and making fun of him. So, yeah, but this was a big deal, and it happened specifically around Hassan, Twitch users, and XQC, as I remember. And they like. We get away with a little bit on YouTube, right? But you have no idea what they get away with on Twitch. They were watching full seasons of Hell's Kitchen, Death Note, just anime watching, all of the copyright. They were going way too far. And like, I'm really surprised, honestly, that Twitch didn't do anything sooner about this. And this H3 lawsuit may be the actual impetus for them to start and actually maybe crack down on some of these people. All right, we'll continue with the video. We're 35 seconds in.
People like Hassan, XQC, and many of the large Twitch streamers would watch other creators' entire video on their stream. They would rarely add sufficient commentary or even...
This is the Let Me Know JFK video. It's actually really good. I definitely recommend checking it out.
Pause the video to speak. Most egregiously, they would re-upload the entire VOD to YouTube with the same thumbnail, the same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic from the original video. Here's what...
Making a thumbnail is basically the most important thing on YouTube, and people have argued that you should spend more time making the thumbnail than actually making the video itself. It absolutely makes or breaks a YouTube video. And you can actually go back, if you've got a channel that's got a lot of videos, and maybe you think they're good quality, you think that people would still enjoy them today, you can actually go back, remake the thumbnails and titles, and you can see a resurgence in an old channel. It's a really good way to actually revitalize, or one of the things you need to analyze when you're starting a YouTube channel. Like, that's the most important thing. It doesn't sound like it should be. You know, you should never judge a book by its cover, but on YouTube, that's absolutely what happens.
But Lamino.
So like when you steal the thumbnail, that's like that could literally be like hours of someone's life, or tens of hours, or even days of people's work, because you can test thumbnails backwards and forwards as well. A/B testing. They have that now. You see this a lot with Mr. Beast, and they actually, I think, if I go to there's a site called View Stats. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can show this. Sites are starting to track this now, which is really interesting. Okay, let's see if but sometimes they lock the content. Yeah, they lock the content. Okay, so this sucks. So there's a site called View Stats, and Mr. Beast actually made this site. But they used to show you thumbnail changes, so you could actually see in real time the previous thumbnails to see how things change a little bit. And some of the changes are just microscopic. Like, they just change, like for someone who's in the thumbnail, like this girl, maybe she wasn't smiling. Try to make this larger so you can see it. So that they might change like this. They might like put makeup on their face with like in post, or they might change this heart might have been a circle. They change it to a heart, like these little details. And that can change a thumbnail's click-through rate with a CTR from like 5% to an 8%, which absolutely makes a difference. So it's like theft of thumbnails is actually a pretty big thing. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is actually very important. Also, I think H3 pronounced this. Let me know. Wait, how does he say it?
Same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic from the original video. Here's what Lamino had to...
Lamino. I think it's supposed to be let me know. You know, like let me know. I don't know. Maybe I got this wrong. But yeah, this guy puts out really good content. I'm pretty sure it's let me know. But Lamino? I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
To say about this phenomenon.
That's how
I don't mind people reacting to my videos, but I do mind when they play the entirety of my video. A face cam in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue. My video is still being played from beginning to end in someone else's stream or video. It's neither ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work, or they could do the bare minimum and ask for permission. Something that none of the major reaction channels have ever done when they've streamed or re-uploaded my videos. But to answer your question, no, I don't want people to stream or re-upload the entirety of my videos.
Now,
okay, before he gets into that. So there is a major difference between reactionary content. You can see here, original video, two types of reactionary videos. This is a really good detail that I actually kind of didn't notice on the first listen through. But like this is like the top one. This is what you want to see. This is what you want to see. So you play the video a little bit, you have your commentary. You play the video a little bit, you have your commentary. This is the bread and butter of fair use, commentary, and reactionary content that is allowed, and creators don't typically mind. There are some sticklers that get very, very upset if you even make a reactionary video, but frankly, it does not matter, because if you are creating a fair use work, if you are reacting correctly, you do not need the permission of the original uploader. Now, it is a courtesy you can do. It is nice for you to do, but there is no legal requirement for you to do so, because when you make a fair use piece of work, it is not actually the property of the original uploader. It is now your copyright. Like this video now, even though we're watching Ethan's video, this stream is my copyright because I have injected, well, I mean, in theory, we are going to inject sufficient transformative nature, commentary, and original content. I mean, you can see we're already 20 minutes into this video, and we're 1 minute into the actual video itself. Like my stream is 20 minutes so far, and Ethan's video in its entirety is 20 minutes. That's kind of like, it doesn't necessarily, like it being longer than the original video does not necessarily meet the standards for fair use, but it is a good start. And I actually have a video on this about how to make transformative content. And it's kind of one of those things where it's not a exact science. There is a certain amount of interpretation, but it's kind of one of those things where you just know. You just know. And one of the easy tests for this is if you can enjoy the video, like if, let's say this, we're going down to this bottom one where it's just got the whole video is playing in its entirety and you've got a face cam in the corner, that's what they're showing. If you can watch the entire reaction video and have the same experience that you would by watching it on the original video, then it's not transformative. And that in many cases is what was happening on Twitch and with people like AsanaXQC and a lot of these reactionary streamers that do the absolute bare minimum while raking in a fair pretty penny.
Ethical.
So that's a good way to describe it, actually. Very simple graphic. All right, let's go back to
the
entirety of my videos.
Now, understandably, this made a lot of people angry, because why should these content thieves essentially get more views than the author of the video, which in a lot of cases was happening? I mean, people don't like injustice, and this just, we all see this and know it's not right.
There's also another thing here that's important you have to think about, and that is that how it changes the landscape of YouTube and Twitch. And this might sound like a little bit cringe if you, I mean, maybe, but there is a very real danger that reactionary content becomes so popular that it completely cannibalizes and destroys, like in an ecosystem. You have like these reactionary content predator fish, and then there's the juicy content fish that are actually making shit. If the reactionary content is so easy and so profitable, everybody's going to slowly migrate to reactionary content, and then nobody's going to be the juicy content fish that are actually making the shit that people are reacting to. And this happens a lot. And like to a certain degree, you can argue that this has happened to Ethan himself, because now he's doing these live streams, which are much easier and much more profitable than making videos like Vape Nation. So if everyone becomes a reactionary person, that absolutely damages the entire content ecosystem. And I mean, it sounds stupid, kind of, I think, but like it is very real, and it is it's an attractive proposition, because making videos sometimes takes weeks at a time, years in some cases, or many months, and there's no guarantee that you will make any benefit from it. It might lose you subs, it might get no views. I mean, for me, when I'm making a video, typically it takes me 1 to 2 hours to make 1 minute of content. So if we're looking at about a 20-minute video, that's 20 hours of work. If it gets less than, say, 10,000 views, it's just a waste of time. Now, if I go onto a stream, I can stream for 2 hours. You know, if I'm doing like Recator coverage or something, I'll stream for like 1 to 2 hours. I'll make about $500, and then I'll log off, and I'll just I'll have a drink, and then I'll giggle at silly meme videos. It's very difficult to say, like, maybe I should get up early and make a video that might be enjoyed by a lot more people, but simply I won't be rewarded financially for it. But I will say that if you make a really good video, like a really good YouTube, like 1 million hits, 2 million hits, that is way more profitable than any stream, unless you're like getting $20,000 like car money a day or something from Johnny Depp. Okay, that's the only time. But the thing is, you can't guarantee a video will ever get like 1 million views. That's the problem. So there is a very real problem with this. What time is it in Japan? It's like 11:30 a.m. on a Saturday.
Debate culminated when XQC, one of the prime suspects, called into my show to debate me, in which case I'm sad to report that I was terribly owned. So in that regard, do you care at all about like IP or copyright, or like the fact that it's illegal? Does that matter? That it might be illegal, does that matter to you?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Well, if flat out doesn't, because...
Well, that's fair.
Watch me full screen cam, do the fucking worm, and watch your
prime...
Then watch your prime content.
Do it for a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many fucking views you get. Oh, okay, sure.
This is the argument of the reactors, is they just they don't give a shit about people's property and they just do the work. This is the high level of discourse you get only on Twitch and Kick. I think at this time XQC was a Twitch person. Now he's on Kick mostly.
I mean, that's content, man. It's original content, at least. The ultimate debate, bro. He hit him with the worm. Oh, why didn't I think of that first?
Now, it kind of is annoying to be on the argument, be on the side of copyright, because a lot of people don't like copyright because of the way that multi-million-dollar corporations do it. Like you've got Disney, for example, obviously, but copyright is important. Otherwise, you get countries like China. China doesn't give a shit about copyright, and there is literally no reason to be a creative person in China. It is such more benefit to yourself to just steal what other people do. And that's what everybody does in China. They say the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. That's what every business in China is basically focused on. And that's why they don't really have that many innovations coming from China, because they're stealing everything from the West. The human centipede with one person. That's pretty good, actually.
I kid XQC, but he is not the one I'm suing. Despite my criticism, he's not a malicious infringer.
Wait,
but
how Fair and Balanced abused the copyright system? What do you mean by this? I mean, there was a Kurt copyright DMCA gate. I don't remember Farron doing anything about that. You know, Farron was in a crash recently. Like I just got back to my home like yesterday, so I haven't. There will be a next stream eventually, like covering everything that's gone on while I've been gone. But I saw Farron got in a crash, and then like Nick was like gloating again. Like he's really the Recator note is actually happening or something.
The ones I am suing, you'll see, are much, much worse. Now, ironically, after this debate and in the wake of this large conversation, the problem seems to have only gotten worse. You have people like Hassan Piker paving the way of fair use with what's known as chair reacts, when Hassan gets up to go to the bathroom or to eat or to talk to his mom or to do whatever, disappears for an extended period of time and leaves the video playing for his chair. Mr. Chair, they call it.
This is actually like, this used to be so bad that he would go away for like 20, 30 minutes playing someone else's video while he was like cooking shit. He would just disappear. And it was Chair Kun all day, every day. Now, there's no problem with pausing the video and then going away or doing something, okay? But if you let someone's video play while you're not there, that is theft. Now, you can do this if you get permission from the original uploader, or if it's something that is... that no one really owns the copyright for. Like, for example, trial streams. Trial streams are not copyright of Lauren Cuck or whatever it is. That's like a public thing that everyone is entitled to. So it's no problem doing it for that. The issue particularly is just when you're playing someone's video. And this happened with a guy called JXE. So JXE was... he's kind of a little bit interesting of a character. He was pretty big on... he was like almost like the fourth member of EFAP or something. Mauler's show where they review TV shows. He was very famously did a 5-hour Doctor Who breakdown or something, and people criticize him for being too long. I think he hasn't made a video in like a year or something, and he's going through some personal shit. I don't know. He actually had some pretty good videos. Like he did some videos on like the Smiling Friends and like the worst of the worst adult cartoons, like not like etchy shit or anything, like the shitty knockoffs of like Rick and Morty and stuff. It was actually really entertaining. I actually quite liked it. But I don't know what he's doing these days.
people to leave the area around the main airport in Sana. Then this.
It's also a really good compilation. Hassan still gets angry to this day, by the way. So if you want to make fun of him, you can just say that he's a chair reactor. But Hassan is such a bitch. He's such a bitch. Like, he would say, like, oh, I used to pause the video all the time, then chat got mad. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit if you get a couple of people in chat mad at you? Sorry for that. But then he was like, now I don't pause it at all. And it's like, well, no, you're just stealing content. He's like, well, I told you chair reacts. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. He got so funny. It was so funny because he got to the point where he had a loop. He had a background loop of him sitting in the chair. So it was literally just like, if you press play on his keyboard, it would just show his face going like. But actually what happening was he was actually leaving his chair and going to take a shit or something. And it would just play a loop of his face so that if someone came into the stream, it looked like he was reacting when he wasn't even there. Which is kind of clever in a way, but like that's how much he was affected by it, is that he had to actually make a fake loop of himself, like Speed or something, you know, the movie where the bus can't slow down, to try and trick people in his chat when he walked away. Because he was so mad that people were screenshotting him and making these compilations of the chair reacting.
Well, I've been seeing
Doggo's there.
And it was in this setting that I formulated an idea. What if I could make a long-form, irresistible piece of content that I knew that these streamers couldn't resist? They couldn't avoid the temptation of watching it the second it was published.
I don't have an issue.
All right, now, hold on with them. There we go. We've got a frame there. So it's not just a black screen. So this is where Ethan gets into, he lays his trap. And this is very interesting. So what he did is the content nuke about Hassan Piker. He said it was going to be like the biggest thing ever. It did pretty good, I think. I think it got like 3-4 million views or something. I want to say 3 million views. Let's have a look. 3.6 million views, yeah. So he made this video, and he was really interested in getting Hassan to react to it. Now, of course, basically everyone reacted to it, the people that do reactions anyway. And he registered the copyright first, which is very funny. But I'm starting to wonder if this will be an issue for him, because he begged and pleaded for Hassan to watch this content. Now, it seems like it's like, oh, it's irresistible. Nobody's can resist watching this content. Well, but Hassan didn't watch it for like the longest time. The only time Hassan eventually watched it was after he debated H3, and they did like a charity stream for, what was it called? Creator Clash. But then they canceled Creator Clash. But I guess they raised like a couple $100,000 afterwards. Now, my question is, if you're laying a trap for these people, this isn't really a question, it's just a thought. If you're laying a trap for these people and you're saying, well, they stole my content, one of their arguments might be, but you were begging for people to watch the content. Now, of course, giving consent to Hassan to watch the content is not the same as giving consent to everybody, but they may argue it in California. I believe this lawsuit is being brought. One of the biggest problems I see for Hassan is I think that California has pretty strong anti-slap law there. So they can probably just get rid of this lawsuit immediately. I mean, there's like a 50% chance at least, I guess. Just because Ethan's a public figure and they're just talking about him. Although the problem for them, as we'll see through this video, is that the people that he is suing, the 3 people he's suing, is all women, by the way, so very based of him, is Frogan, aka Hijaba the Heart, Denims, who's just the most vapid person you can imagine, and KacyTron, who I don't actually know very much about. They actually say, which is maybe that's why he picked these 3 in particular, not just because they're Hassan orbiters, but they actually say, like, watch our video instead of his video to deprive him of views. So they're doing this maliciously.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would. I knew they would watch the entire video, add little to no.
This is Denims, who I think there was an EFAP about. Yeah, there was an EFAP about her in particular, and just how she's one of the dumbest people you can talk to. She's basically just an OF chick who hangs around Hassan, and she was in the content cop that Items made recently.
No commentary. React to.
Okay, this is KacyTron. I thought she was an OF chick. Literally, the only memory I have of KacyTron is that there was a guy that I used to watch. His name was Maximus Black and Lag TV. They did StarCraft videos. It was When Cheese Fails, where they would like review like shitty games of StarCraft where people were trying to do these really underhanded tactics. I actually was on one of the episodes of Will Cheese Fail as one of the defenders of cheeses, which is pretty fun. But I used to really like his StarCraft content. But unfortunately, he scammed his entire audience using a crypto Ponzi scheme. Very disappointing. And then when I saw that, I decided that I would never watch his content again. So, but the reason I bring it up is because I remember he would do like these parody like auto-tune songs, and he did like the KacyTron song. But I don't know I thought it was because she was like an OF chick or she was like a titty streamer or something. Frogan is the Jar of Greed from Yu-Gi-Oh, or also called Hijaba the Hutt. But she is the 2-time Rising Star Twitch award, and she can't even get over like 100 people concurrent watching her.
It instantly, giving them no time to form an opinion. The trap was set, and it worked even better than I imagined it would. We captured pretty much every large streamer reacting to it in its entirety immediately after it was published. Now, the thing is, there were a few people that went above and beyond to commit copyright infringement. For example, Denim sits here silently with nearly 50,000 live viewers. That's 30.
This is basically exactly what every one of her streams is. She's literally just a pretty face. People have argued that Twitch is one of Twitch's models is that they want to monetize. How do I describe this? They're trying to make softcore porn for people that can't get through an "Are you 18-year-old" banner, because they have a lot of these titty streamers. Like, I mean, she wears more clothes than the average titty streamer, but essentially that's what she's doing.
8 times her regular viewership. She's working directly with the Snark subreddit moderators to siphon views. And
so the Snark Reddits, if you're unaware, wait a second, hold a second. So the Snark Reddits are just literally Reddits that are like devoted to shitting on some person. H3 Snark obviously is like the one that's devoted to shitting on Ethan. I just saw the mod. The mod's name is Jewett to me, Sarah. Jewett to me, Sarah. The mod posted mega thread content nuke, where to watch and discussion. Hey everyone, we've seen a lot of comments about wanting to watch the nuke without showing support for H3. So they want to see what his content is without giving him that stealing. Several creators have mentioned that they're planning to stream their reactions or post-reaction videos in the coming days. Here's a list of creators who have supported the sub either by engaging with us directly or citing our posts in their critique of H3. If you're planning to watch along with any of them, we ask you to carry our subs rules into those spaces too. Feel free to check out North Star, Frogan, Sean DeBlack, Denims, Central Committee, Mike from PA, Hallucino Gendering, what the fuck? KacyTron, Do Not Worry Podcast, and Uninformed Lested. Happy snarking from your respective bunkers. Please feel free to share links, etc.
Their intentions couldn't be clearer. Here's an excerpt from a stickied post from the Snark subreddit. Hey everyone, we've seen a lot of comments about wanting to watch.
I just read this, so I'm going to skip past it.
By engaging these streamers as market substitutes for my work. This is the cardinal sin of copyright infringement. The Snark subreddit has been a frequent and persistent infringer. That's how I knew when this video came out, the Snarkers were going to encourage, promote, and push streamers to commit copyright infringement. I should thank the Snarkers, actually. Because of their predictability, they acted like double agents for us, incriminating their favorite streamers and serving them up on a golden platter. So,
like I said, I thought that this was like cope at first, but it seems like Ethan actually did set a trap. Because like I said, he did register the copyright before releasing it, which... I mean, I guess it just proves that he is. So is this a 500 IQ move? Like, is this an unironic? Like, I think this is pretty much a W for Ethan, but like, was this like a big brain move? Like, people always pretend to be doing the big brain moves. They're like, something happens and they pretend it was a plan all along. It's just like, well, I'll just go with the flow sort of thing. But this is actually pretty smart, I think. Put a 1 if you think it's a big brain move, or a 2 if you think no. And also like the stream, because we're desperate out here. We're desperate. We need that. We need that.
Hit like if you like the show. If you don't like the show, don't hit like, or hit thumbs down. Be like, this guy sucks. I don't mind. But if you do like the show, hit that like button. It really does. I gotta remind YouTube that I'm here. They are not distributing things out.
You gotta hit that like. I'm being oppressed. Also, Trucker Rob with a tenner. Hold on a second. He says, well, howdy. How's it going? We've got a big stream day to you after that. If you're not aware, I've got a link, a pinned comment in the link. We're doing a gaming stream after this. The Triceratops have been released on the Isle, and I have a crocodile that's 90% grown on the good server. So I've been secretly leveling up crocodiles in preparation for streaming. We're going to be doing crocodile streaming and Triceratops streaming after this. So I hope everyone enjoys that as the first stream's back from Tokyo.
Thank you, Snark. It's one thing for a subreddit to admit it's engaging in copyright infringement, but how do you get the streamers themselves to admit that they're stealing content?
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime. If you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here. It turns out they just do it for you. You couldn't cook up a more incriminating statement if you tried. Denim.
I mean, it is fun when people like self-incriminate. Like, people just stop self-snitching for once in their damn lives.
The queen of self-owning, you prevail again. There's one thing about copyright you should know is that you got to register it before you publish to be eligible for statutory damages and attorney's fees, which is...
I don't think this is true. It might be true in California where Ethan is suing. This is going to be different across the entirety of America and, of course, the world. But you actually have copyright on anything you produce just by virtue of you making it. Now, you may have to register the copyright in legal proceedings, but this video right now that I've made here, I don't need to register this for it to be copyright. It is my copyright. If someone replayed it without reacting to it, it would be copyright theft, although I probably wouldn't do anything about it because there'd be no real damages that I could prove. So I'm not sure if this is correct. It may be the case in California. Maybe specifically just for statutory damages and attorney's fees. It doesn't sound right to me. I am not a lawyer, though. But you do just have copyright on anything you produce by virtue of you creating it. That's kind of how it works, typically. But I'll have to defer to Ethan in California here, but I don't think this is correct.
The main biting force of a copyright infringement lawsuit. Well, I'm happy to tell you guys now. I, Ethan Klein, have registered.
All right, apparently this is the context, which I actually kind of mentioned, but SP Stellas with a 5. Thank you very much. He said statutory damages, meaning damages he doesn't have to prove. Okay. I guess that's the difference there then, which is what I think I came to the conclusion of. But anyway.
Hassan Piker Content Nuke with the United States Library of Congress. Some of you guys out there sweating? Even though theoretically I could sue a lot more creators and rake in millions of dollars, but the purpose of this is not financial gain. People like XQC and Asmongold may have watched the entire thing, but I would never sue them just for doing that. I don't want to chill the reaction community into fear. Actually,
now this is going to be one of the biggest pieces of criticism that Ethan's going to receive, is that because, like I said earlier in the stream, Ethan kind of got his, not get his start, but one of the big things that he did on YouTube was that he sued this guy, and people have already made some memes about it. This is the guy. I can't remember his name, but he was like he was doing these weird fitness or pickup videos, and they were making, they made a reactionary content to it, but it was truly transformative. And like I said, it had lots of skits, it had lots of goofs and gaffs and things, like the typical old like H3 video. So you see, this is the meme that the people are putting out today. We're going to react to this loser's video, and he gets sued. No, we're going to react to this loser's video. No, it's not the same because they're not reacting to it. While it's a reactionary stream, they're not actually making the effort to transform it and make it like a true transformative work. So this is going to be the biggest piece of criticism that Ethan receives while he's doing this. But it seems like he's dotted all his I's and crossed all his T's on this one, I have to say. I think it'd be very funny to like be a fly on the wall in these people's these people's rooms when they hear those words that it was actually registered prior to the stream going live.
The opposite. I hope that we can all unite against this type of egregious behavior that not only makes us all look bad, but could destroy the commentary community as we know it.
I mean, would you miss it though? I'm gonna do a poll for this one. Would you miss the commentary community? I mean, I know it's very. I mean, it's kind of what we're doing right now, but like, I feel like nothing of value could be lost if we did that. Hold on a second. Would you miss it? Oh wait, I should bet. Commentary community. There we go. There we go. I gotta do this as result. There we go. I don't know. I feel like people could just go back to not doing any reactions and just making content, and everyone would be just fine. I know it's a very easy, it's a very profitable, and I do it myself, but I'm willing to go down with the ship on this one. I think you like some reactionary content, but not all of it. It's kind of slop, to be honest.
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime.
The state of reaction.
Oh, that's true. Kino Casino is commentary, and I do enjoy them. Okay. Some, I assume, are good people.
Content on Twitch is so broken, these creators feel comfortable looking right into a camera and saying outright, hey, I'm stealing this guy's content. Pay me instead of him. This is not a healthy environment. And with
this is Frogan's stream. She's got the big fucking setup, but she can't even get over 100 views. It's so funny.
People like Hassan reacting to entire TV shows on stream, my fear is that
they would literally just watch MasterChef for like 3 hours a day.
That Sony or Disney comes along, sues everybody, and sets a devastating precedent that could endanger our entire field. Now, before
yeah, this was also a concern when the first H3 lawsuit against that Matt Hoss guy, if that's who it was, is that like people like Keemstar were coming out and saying like this is a big fucking deal, even though he hated H3, because if Matt Hoss had won, it would have completely changed the copyright landscape on YouTube for the worse. So again, like this is like when Ethan does these lawsuits, he potentially is having a very big effect on the entire landscape of online content creation.
Tell you who the 3 people I'm suing are, I just want to make it clear that they all met this very specific high bar of criteria that I set forth earlier. These people were not targeted based on their gender, their identity, their political beliefs. All 3 are on.
It's very funny though that all of them are women. That's probably, I'm assuming that's going to be one of the arguments, is that Ethan hates women.
On this list. In fact, they're the only 3, as far as I could tell, that reacted to the full video. Drum roll, please. Who's sweating at home, guys? KacyTron, the queen of ripping farts and bong loads.
These are musicals. They're very musical people. I know. Are you being serious?
Is this actually? What the heck? Got real goblin hours over here.
Dog, what do you look? You think I made this?
Frogan, who bless her soul, she's still rising.
She's fat.
Can I walk away and use the bathroom? Do I have permission?
This is Hijaba the Hutt, and she looked like, honestly, like. Hold on, I'm gonna show you this. Gotta show you this. All right, where is this? Where is this? All right, this is Pot of Greed. Okay, this is Pot of Greed. Now let's compare this to a picture of Frogan smiling. Is there any difference? Like, if I just made this, if I made one of these green, would we be able to tell a difference between this? It's basically identical. This is, what is Frogan's channel about? Well, Frogan's channel is about, it allows you to draw 2 additional cards from your deck. There you go. There you go. We did the Frogan meme.
Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
See, this is a bad move. You're not supposed to do that.
Apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life.
What happened?
And Denims, the queen of self-owning. And my God, is she the queen of that?
It's very obvious from the way that guy's talking, he's a Sneeko fan.
Oh my God, bro, I love you. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
None of the hostages that have been released so far have said that they have been raped. The hostages have public statements. You can go look at them.
The sexual assault I experienced should never happen to any human being.
This Yemeni kid is just a Yemeni kid with a...
This is also like one of the funny memes that has come up during this entire thing, is that like they've got like the consent meme where it's like, is there someone you forgot to ask? And it's like, but they've changed it so it's like, can you prove you've been raped? Is there someone you forgot to ask? And it's Hassan, because he's going to say that, well, I mean, he's not going to say in this video, but he's been saying that there's no evidence that any rapes occurred in the October 7th attack, which is just ridiculous. Like, in every single conflict throughout the dawn of history, that has happened to people during these sort of things. Like, to say that, like, I don't know, it's bizarre. It's very bizarre. They just can't admit it. Chill Station with a 5 says, she looks like Jeff the Killer. Oh, that's true. She does. That's an old meme too. Jeff the Killer was like an old creepypasta. You know what's really, maybe one day we should take a look at this, but like there was like these old era of the internet. This is Jeff the Killer. We'll compare it to Jeff the Killer. There's Jeff the Killer to Frogan. I mean, kind of, yeah, kind of. Sorry about the jump scare there. People would make these like Jeff the Killer versus Slenderman like battle reactions, and they'd be playing like Green Day and stuff behind it. It was a weird part of the internet. Like Slenderman has a lot to answer for it. It created an entire group of really cringe people. SB Stella says, how much for Max to narrate the Dino stream tonight? Good question. Good question. I don't think I can afford it anymore because I was buying Max like 200,000. Wait, not 200,000. 20,000 yen dinners. We went to a bar. There's a bar. It was really cool. I think it's called the Wales in August or something. Speaking of Wales, I'll just put this on the screen while we're talking about it. It's a bar which has like a menu, but like the menu is only names of movies, and they'll make you any movie drink. So like I was like, I'll order the Prestige, and they make me a drink that's like Prestige themed. It was really good. Like it was a really cool bar. It's in Shibuya, and we kept like it's so smart because you keep ordering drinks because you want to see what your favorite movie is. I think we ordered the Prestige, Apocalypse Now, Blade Runner. Max could help me out on this one. Lilo and Stitch. Dumb and Dumber, that was a good one. Which apparently in Japan is called Jim Carrey and Mr. Dumber. There was a lot of, we just kept ordering drinks. We spent like 10,000 yen at that bar, which is good because I was looking for places to spend money at. That's like before Max beat up that guy.
Gun and is not a Houthi, and there is no proof of him being a Houthi.
Are you a soldier? Yes. That seems pretty definitive.
All right, so if you're unaware, this is like Hassan was interviewing like these Houthi pirates, and then he tried to claim that they weren't pirates. The Sherlock's home too. Yeah. All right, this is fucking weird. I gotta call Max out here for a second. So he ordered the Sherlock Holmes, which came with a cinnamon stick, and then after he drank the drink, he started eating the cinnamon stick. This is not okay. Like he had a full cinnamon stick. He was pretending to smoke it like he's a child. Okay, Max, what are you doing? There was no Wizard of Oz XXX. And then he just starts chewing and eating this cinnamon stick. He ate an entire cinnamon stick, which is maybe why he's so well preserved. I don't know. Like that's like, is that I feel like that's illegal. You're not allowed to eat cinnamon sticks. Am I wrong here? No, I chewed it first, then I ate it. That's eating. You chew, then you swallow. That's called eating. It's a power move. I don't know. This is how he's got so much vigor to beat up Chicans in Tokyo. Lock him up. Based. He's wait. Who's the wrong here? If Max is in the right, press 1. If I'm in the wrong, press 2. Wait. That's like, isn't that just a double win for Max either way? It doesn't matter.
He never said Hassan Nasrallah was a good guy.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen.
Now for the fun part. Let's take a look at the complaints, and let's start with my favorite of the three, the very own, the prestigious, the highly acclaimed, the highly analytical KacyTron.
So the lawsuit is actually filed. They actually have them here. The Internet Archive, you have the complaints have been registered for both, well, not both, but for all of the defendants, which is going to be, this one's for Denims, this one's for KacyTron, and this one's for Frogan. Apparently it's called Morgan. Okay, interesting.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this.
We'll go through those at the end of this video.
Necessarily supporting Ethan Klein.
Hold on, I gotta tell the dinosaur people will be late.
So we're gonna watch it.
Well, that's a really dumb thing to say, don't you think? Why are you so comfortable? We've given each complaint a clever little title, and here's KacyTron's. She smoked more than she spoke. KacyTron smokes 42 times during her reaction. And just as a silly thought experiment, we thought, wouldn't it be funny if she spent more time smoking than she did talking? And thinking there was no way that that could be true. Well, we tallied them up, and lo and behold, there's 15 minutes, 40 seconds of commentary versus 18 minutes and 55 seconds of smoking.
This is just vile, though. Like, 18 minutes. Like, how long was the stream going for? Holy smokes. Yes, indeed. 18 minutes of smoking, 15 minutes of commentary. That's pretty funny. Like, I kind of appreciate this sort of autism. Like going through and finding these silly little details, fun little facts. Very, very good move by Ethan here.
She spent 3 minutes and 15 seconds longer smoking than she did talking in her quote unquote reaction. And whatever talking she did was just to express how confused she was, presumably from smoking 42 times.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow. I've lost the plot.
The complaint continues. Indeed, KacyTron is often too obliterated to comment on
I'm going to speed this up a little bit because we've got to get to the dinosaurs eventually. 1.25 speed, let's go.
The nuke, and instead stares blankly at her computer screen. In a span of 2 hours and 7 minutes, KacyTron smokes marijuana, frequently in highly concentrated forms through vaporizers, on 42 separate occasions. At one point,
the funniest thing in the world is to tell weed smokers that they're addicted to weed. They get so upset. They get so upset when you say that. That's my favorite thing.
KacyTron is so wasted that she states, quote, "What is happening? I'm trying to follow, but I've lost the plot." To give you an idea, the majority of her commentary comes down to this.
I don't understand this bit that he's doing.
Oh, this is Hold of the Mountain King. Very good song, isn't it?
He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
CPM's coming out Qatar.
What the hell is going on?
Right?
He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow. I've lost the plot.
Hey, look, if you want to smoke weed, go ahead. I'm just going to make fun of you for it. You guys can make fun of me for drinking too, or for vaping. I vaped one time on stream, and I'm never going to hear the end of it. Vaping is cringe, though. Even though I did it.
They do musicals. They're very musical people.
Did it once.
No, are you being serious? Dog, what do you... Look, you think I made this? This isn't a music video, Hassan.
And as dumb as all of that is, this is the part that really got her sued.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. Without necessarily supporting Ethan.
This is... Like, unironically, I thought, like, did she used to be an OF chick or a titty streamer? Or is she always just like this? Was she always just goblin maxed?
Klein. So we're gonna watch it.
She's greasy.
What the fuck is going on here?
Stating outright that her intention of doing this is so that people who don't want to support me can watch it through her.
She was never like this?
Why copyright infringement laws exist. You could not and should not do that, especially...
Wait, what is a Goonathon? Wait a second. Goonathon?
If your commentary consists of you...
I mean, she's got like 3,000 subscribers, and like subscribers on Twitch is like $5, right? So, well, she's making $15,000 a month on Twitch for doing this greasy ass shit. It's not fair, bros. It should be me.
Taking bong loads. At least try to engage with
the
jealousy
maxing.
Whoa, what was that? Oh, sorry, that was a flying star. It almost got me. You know her and you love her, guys. Frogan. Reaction by exiting. Here she is getting up to leave the video running as she steps out of the room. Is that true?
I can't believe, like, I will say this. Hold on.
Reaction by exiting.
Between $5 and 15. Like, she actually thought that her Hijabba the Hutt look, well, she looks like fucking God Emperor of June or something in this neon sign. She thought this was worth making. They got Tony from those Chinese signs company or whatever to make this for her.
Here she is getting up to leave the video running as she steps out of the room. Is that true?
Built like a bus driver. Look, when we play the Stegosaurus, or the not the Stegosaurus, when we play the Triceratops later, that's got the Frogan aesthetic. It's like a big potato on 4 legs. Holy shit! Wait until you see it, guys. That's coming up next as the gaming stream.
Transformative. I guess the judge will decide. She said, "Quote: It's time to watch the new nuke ethically. Hell yeah." Huh. Very smart to say on camera, by the way. She said, quote, "Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it
Tony
with me.
of LC
Well, you are
Signs,
so
exactly.
welcome.
Tony
I'm
is the
so
goat,
glad
yeah.
that you were able to enjoy that day." Her commentary is so non-existent that even her own fans begin to call her out.
I don't have anything to say, dude, because he's cycling the same fucking points over and over again. What more commentary do you need on him repeating the same fucking points for the whole first hour and 1 minute and 32 seconds? It's been the same shit over and over again. This video could have been condensed into 20 fucking minutes. Like, what commentary do you want me to add by, like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot, he's mentally ill, and he's having a mental breakdown and uploaded it to fucking YouTube? They're gonna make it at least one.
They keep saying that Ethan is having a breakdown. Like, he's got Tourette's. He's a little bit weird on cameras sometimes, like, especially in this video. Although I'm starting to wonder if maybe he was playing it up for the sole purpose of getting more people to react to it so he could include more people in his lawsuits. He seems very like, Ethan looks really put together in this video. Like, I don't know, took some chill pills or something, whatever it is. Or just reshot a couple times so he got the perfect take. But he looks like he's doing pretty good today.
good point. What do you want me to make a point on?
Oh, I forgot. She also said, "Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing."
Imagine being like, "Can I use the bathroom, please?" These people, like these Twitch streamers, they're like prison inmates, and the chat is like the warden, and they're like, and the chat is always right. That's true, but they're so terrified of leaving the stream for even a single minute because they think their entire audience will disappear. Like Hassan literally said when he was called out for ReactGate, he's like, "What am I supposed to do? Just die? I left the stream to cook food. Should I starve to death?" You just pause the stream for a couple of minutes or get like you're all in. You can stop a stream and restart a stream or like restream yourself or whatever. But they literally think they have to stream 8 hours a day or their entire audience will leave them after a second because Twitch users are so dented that they have an attention span of if you stop talking, or if there's no noise, or if you pause the video for even a second, their entire audience abandons them. Only 3 more to hit the goal. Can we hit it, chat? Can we hit it?
You may use the bathroom, Frogan, although I don't advise it.
Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
This into your stomach. And let me state the obvious. Jew and
Apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life.
What happens?
Oh, you just pause it. That's it. You just pause the video, right? Like you get up and you go to the bathroom, you just pause it. They should be watching for you. But if you get up to go to the bathroom and they keep watching my video, they're clearly not watching for you, right? As lazy and pathetic as her reaction is, this is not why she's getting sued. This is.
Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me.
Oh yeah, there was sorry, this isn't really important to the video, but it just reminded me that she had like an egg eating goal where she was eating like 50 eggs or something. I don't know, that was pretty good. So she's almost got to 1,000 subs. Oh, look at that.
Viewer, time to watch the nuke ethically. Hell yeah. I found my way from Reddit. Hi guys, welcome Reddit people. Reddit people. I came from the issue snark Reddit. Ethan is so pathetic while Hassan is independent father having a great time. Exactly. We're gonna watch it live, yes. He doesn't want people to know when it's dropping because we're all watching 2 other streamers.
What the fuck is this? Girl bros in chat, please respond. Content blushathon? What 5 subs equals 1 layer of blush? Arabs. What the fuck is this? Girl, that's 9 layers of blush. I mean, in the one point, this looks terrible, but on the second point, maybe she needs more, so hide her face more.
And I suggest you all watch it through other people as well.
It's the stated malicious intent to steal. They talk about watching ethically, but I learned not to steal when I was 5. Up next is Denims. And honestly, just take a look at this, guys. It's a nightmare on Denim Street. Not only...
I feel like this one could have used work. She does have Denim Street in the background, so it makes sense. Kind of good.
Did she share React, but she was kind enough to write her name right at the top just so that we knew that she was stealing my content and it was her room and nobody else's. Judge, did you know that we're on Denim Street right now? Here's some quotes from Denims. "We're relying on you to stay live so we don't have to give the nuke views. Yeah, I'm going to stream it. Since he's confirmed it's coming out today, I'm going to stream it." That is very explicit. Denim said, quote, "Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, give me a follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like my content." Your content? The Queen of Self-Own.
So, like, if you're unaware because you're not a child, on Twitch, if you link your Amazon Prime account to Twitch, you can give the streamer $5 for free. So a lot of people are literally like living their entire existence is just because people have free money to give them. Unfortunately, like if YouTube could get Amazon Prime, I feel like people would abandon Twitch finally. That's the one thing that they have that really over YouTube. I do think that Twitch has a better chat interface. For a number of reasons. The chat experience is better. Like, I don't like YouTube keeps trying to copy Twitch, which is fine. But they're Amazon Primes. So when like you're like, oh, this person, they're getting so much money. A lot of people are just happen to have Amazon Prime accounts so that they've got literally nothing else to do with. You can't spend it on anything. You can only gift it to people on Twitch. It's a very interesting system they have over there. But the entirety of Twitch is just an Amazon side project at this point.
Included a countdown timer so we could tell exactly how long she was away. After being gone for a few minutes, she returns and then sits silently for another couple of minutes eating.
I'm gonna go pee, and hopefully when I'm back, they're done with this.
All right.
You do look better.
Mr. 305. I see it.
Dude, you should do this.
I have an alternate.
We're relying on you to stay live so we don't give more views on the nuke. Yeah, I'm gonna stream it. Since he confirmed it's coming out today, we're gonna stream it. If you want to watch it with someone else who's already watching it, come enjoy the watch party somewhere else. If you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here. Because I'm gonna be honest, I did not want to watch that by myself.
Let me also commercialize it.
I mean, they say that, but they absolutely This is something that a lot of YouTubers and Twitch people do. They're like, "Oh, I didn't want to watch it, but I had to. I had to watch it." No, it's you enjoy it. Just say it. Just say you want to enjoy it because you enjoy making money, and you knew you were going to get a lot of views, and a lot of subs. Because monetizing hate is one of the most effective marketing strategies on the internet. And of course, a lot of people hate Ethan because he's against Hassan.
By asking you to reward me,
it's like with Keanu. Keanu was like, "Oh, I'll never get those 5 hours back I had with Gabe Hoffman." It was like her biggest stream ever, and she made over $1,000. She's complaining about it. She's like, even though I think it was a disaster of a stream, let's be real here. Let's be real here. She loved the attention. She loved the money. It's very, very silly to see the Keanu versus Gabe stuff after the fallout. It didn't go down too well.
Financially for stealing his content. That is like chef kiss. By the way, Denims had a very successful stream. She had 43,000 people watching her live.
That's a big number. Holy shit. That's like 10 Kurtz. Or like 43 Ricadas, I guess.
Take a look at the title of her Twitch stream. Ethan Klein Hassan Content Nuke Watch Party. A watch party? I don't think that's fair use. Now, Denims, of course, always delivering the goods. She went on this dude's podcast to debate fair use. And would you be surprised if I told you she said a lot of incriminating?
How do we feel about this shaky cam? So I guess Ela is holding the camera, which adds kind of like it adds kind of an organic sort of realistic, you know, like I'm not a big company. I'm a solo creator sort of feel. But I feel like for this, you just use a tripod. Just lock off the shot on a tripod. This really annoyed me when I was watching the Kenobi series. They added like an artificial shaky cam where they did shoot it on a tripod, but then they added shake in post to make it seem more edgy.
Things in that podcast. The queen of self-own never disappoints.
I want to be clear on my opinion on like filler content.
Oh, so yeah, this is JXE. This is the guy that made the 5-hour Doctor Who video, and then he made like a really funny house tour video that Hassan reacted to, and then stole. And that was the whole Hassan Man of Steel arc.
Like I think filler content, like you shouldn't do it. I know I do it as a React stream, and I try to do it only when I do it with like Vox videos or Vice videos and stuff like that, because at least I'm not like directly ripping from one content creator and not like a whole team and stuff.
I mean, that doesn't matter though. Like it literally does not matter. Like, oh, I'm stealing from a corporation rather than a single person. Okay, I mean, it's not a good argument. So you're still just stealing, but okay.
And most of those videos have like 5 million views. I only get like 500 viewers. Like what I'm
again, not an argument. Like the degree of how much you stole is not an argument.
Taking maybe 50 views from the video, it's a lot harder to feel like, I guess, bad about that. Whereas like I would feel very bad about doing that to like a single content creator. The majority of people say that they literally wouldn't watch Hell's Kitchen unless I was streaming. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm reacting hard enough.
This is another stupid argument people make is like, well, they weren't going to watch it anyway, so they didn't lose anything. Not really. It doesn't work like that.
You know, I'm sure if you click on a random part in the video, I might not be saying anything, sure, whatever. And I might walk away from the screen. But it's about like the communal thing. It's why like fucking Toe started streaming.
It's another win for the Toe. You can't keep getting away with it. Yeah, that's one other thing, is Max kept saying that in Tokyo. Like, everywhere we went, he was just like, another win for the Toe. I guess he's like a big Toe fan. I mean, not really. People like saying another win for the Toe more than they like the Toe. But, like, we were literally on the top of Shibuya Sky, which is, like, one of the tallest buildings in the middle of Tokyo. And Max is drinking champagne. And I asked him to say something else, but instead of saying what I asked him to say, he's drinking champagne. He's like, it's another win for the Toe. I'll put that clip out eventually. I'll add that as like a stream thing in Bajig. Trucker Rob says, for the goal. Can we hit it, chat?
Death
Thank you
Note.
very much.
It's not about the actual show at a certain point. It's the same reason you watch shows with your friends. You want to watch it with other people. A lot of people go to watch streamers on Twitch for their React content almost as a curator. So they don't actually want to go through YouTube themselves.
This is like the thing that people say as well, is a lot of Twitch React streamers, like Denims in particular, will say that she's a creator. No, sorry, a curator. And that like people are too lazy to press on their remote and find something to watch. So they just turn on a Twitch stream, because then they don't have to touch their dial for another hour or 10 hours or whatever, because they just keep finding content for them. So it's like they're hiring her to just find the remote. And look, let me tell you, lads, you don't want the woman to be in control of the remote. You got to take control of that.
Themselves and watch a bunch of videos, and they probably never will go through YouTube and click a bunch of videos.
The Crocs are coming,
Twitch
guys,
because they like to have it as like, this streamer is curating fun content that I want to watch.
Like,
From the people that I've talked to, the people who watch Twitch content are specifically there to watch it so they don't have to scroll through YouTube and find a video they like. If someone watches content, I already said this, if someone watches content on someone else's stream, there is a very low likelihood that they're going to go watch it separately and give you like the view or the like. Or the people who are watching content on Twitch, curated Twitch content on Twitch, aren't necessarily people that would be watching content on YouTube.
That, my friend, is called theft, and you're a thief. And now I'm suing you. This is just a testimony to how brazen and how safe they've, gotten. That she thinks she can go out in public on video and say shit like, I'm stealing this content because I want to. I'm coping even though I know it's stealing. When people watch it with me, they're definitely not going to go watch the original. Like, you are way too comfortable committing crimes out in the open. Well, there you have it. 3 separate laws.
Civil offenses.
You are way too comfortable committing crimes out in the open.
Civil offense, not crime. I mean, is there a difference though? Really? I feel like this is a distinction without a difference, but okay.
Open. Well, there you have it. 3 separate lawsuits for 3 separate geniuses. Now, I want to make it clear again, and I hope it's been obvious about why I'm suing these 3 people and not others. These people not only violated all of the principles of fair use.
Legally, yes. I mean, maybe.
They also did it maliciously.
I think in like just regular nomenclature, people understand there's a difference. I mean,
that's the part
that's essentially the same thing.
That really got me. I think if you're a reactor on Twitch, for the most part, if you make a good faith effort to comment, and if you make a good faith effort to promote the author, to link to them, to try to drive traffic to the original video, I think you're probably pretty much doing the right thing, and that's fine. And I would never sue someone for that. Take it to these 3 absolute morons to state their intention to steal my property on video. And to all the detractors who are saying that I'm targeting women, that I'm a hypocrite for suing.
Targeting women is based.
For copyright infringement, I just have this to say. I don't care. What I do
That's based. All right, this is based. This is based. I like this.
Is that you'll support their crowdfunding efforts to defend themselves, because let's face it, I want to make sure there's money left over for me when I win my lawsuits. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a great time. I'll see you around.
All right. It's pretty, I'm looking forward to seeing where this is going. I'm going to be honest, I don't have high hopes for Ethan. I feel like the fact that he's suing in California, and we have the documents here, but we don't really need to go through them. But he was nice enough to include a internet archive of all of the complaints. It looks like they're about 80 pages each, and he's got all of the evidence as well listed in here, which is very good, very good. It's and he's included his memes on everything as well, which just goes to show you that lawsuits is just drama. If you're including memes in your lawsuits and stuff, you're just having a bit of a laugh. You're having a bit more fun. But yeah, I feel like that's a very big barrier for this lawsuit, is that he's suing in California. And as I understand it, California has a pretty strong anti-slap protections. Of course, a slap is a strategic lawsuit against public participation. Basically, the idea that he's suing them to stop them talking about him because he has more money than them, and just to get people to shut up. Of course, anti-slap has been surprisingly, learning about anti-slap has been very useful over the last couple of years. So I feel like that's Ethan's biggest challenge. But then again, he does have a very good argument in the fact that they maliciously, knowingly, and for the purpose of depriving him of views, freebooted his content on their channels and said as much. So I don't know. I mean, there's always a chance, right, in every lawsuit. I think it's very funny. Either way, it's going to be costing everyone a lot of money involved. As Ethan said at the beginning of his video, it's going to be creating generational wealth for lawyers. And you can see, we'll check in with the Denims lawsuit. Again, very, very funny that she had to start a lawsuit to try and sue Ethan. She couldn't raise enough, so she canceled it, refunded the money. Then she's like, guys, I know I just asked for money, but I need money again. So she's only raised about 8% of her 100,000 gold. This lawsuit is going to cost more than $100,000. If I had to guess, it's going to be 150 to 300,000. I mean, if it is not dismissed by anti-slap, of course, that'll be the first barrier eventually. We'll keep following this lawsuit, I think, and see how it goes. If it gets past anti-slap, then millions of dollars between these 4 parties is going to be channeled into lawyers' bank accounts, which is very funny. Very funny to see people suffering. SB says there's only 1 more to hit the goal. I don't think we're gonna get 1 more chat. Oh, we got 1 more chat. We hit the goal. God bless the goal, which means we'll start the dinosaur stream. So thank you guys for hitting the goal. Thank you for being here on this weird time. I think I had like 15 minutes warning before we started. So I'm happy to see I'm back. I'm back from Tokyo. I'll be probably the next couple of days, I'll be doing a Nick stream. We're going to look at the fallout of the Karen Reed trial and just how Nick did. Unfortunately, for my data that I've been collecting on his continued downfall, and he's been losing about 10% per week. Very sad, very sad. I don't think he has streamed yet the verdict of the trial, which doesn't make any sense. It's the biggest day of the trial. I think someone told me that Kurt had over 10,000 people watching him. I don't know if that's accurate. I think he at least had 5,000 though. But for some reason, people are like, "Hey, are you gonna stream the trial?" And he's like, "No, fuck off. I've got more important things to do." Which I guess goes to show you how much he cares about his audience. Very weird. But I'm going to go through the data. I'm going to go through the competition and see just how everyone did during Karen Reed, and we'll do that. And we'll also cover the recent stuff. It looks like he keeps teasing that he's going to sue Aaron, but I don't know if he actually is. So we'll see about that. It might be another win for the toe, common toe W. We'll go over the making fun of a woman in pain again. So, of course, Nick was very happy to make fun of Alyssa's potential cancer diagnosis. Now that Fan was in a car crash, he was gloating, which goes to show you how sad his life is, really. I mean, if the only joy you can get in life is from seeing other people suffer, it means you're not having a good time. It looks like he's on Whippets again. I've seen some things from Scarebro that seem like he's like completely unhinged, tweeting at 4 hours a night from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. It's very weird. I have to go through it. It's going to take me a couple of days, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We can't promise it. But the stream is not over. The stream is not over because we're about to play dinosaur games for the next 4 or 5 hours because the Triceratops has been released on the Isle. We've also got a crocodile we're going to play. So I've got to clear these chats out. Lawyers like meme. Yes, I'm the best YouTube lawyer. Talking the White says, is this a defamation lawsuit or a copyright enforcement lawsuit? It is a copyright enforcement lawsuit. I think it's the latter also. Oh, that's true if it's not defamation. Well, actually, I think maybe not every. Let me have a look. That's a good point, actually. That's a good point. But they could also still argue that that he's using copyright as a means to silence them. It doesn't have to. I don't think it has to be a defamation lawsuit for it to be an anti-slap. But good question. We'll have to check on that, actually. We hit the goal chat. Yes. So what's going to happen is I'm going to link the stream in chat. It's in the also if you're watching on replay. So this is the dinosaur stream link. If you click on that, it'll take you to the dinosaur stream. I need 150 people to subscribe. Okay. I need that to get monetized. This is a new channel. It should be monetized after this stream, but I just like doing it, so I do it for free. Okay, I do it for free. It's also in the pinned comment and also the description of this video if you're watching on replay. I'm going to stream raid myself over there, and in a couple minutes we're going to go live, although we're going to have to get through the thing. All right, so we'll see you over there, and peace.
Yeah. I like money, though. I like money. Oh, I like money.